What's up guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Jay. Before we get started, we are giving out a box of Duelist Nexus, the latest core set from Konami. So we'll be doing that sometime next month, so stay tuned for that. Also, channel memberships are now live. We still have the Patreon, so go ahead and check those out in the links above. And then lastly, if you guys are a fan of Floowandereeze, we do deck profiles every month on it, so it'll be updated monthly, so stick around for that. Alright, let's get straight into it now. Alright guys, Floowandereeze has remained pretty standard for quite a while, so let's go over the mandatory stuff. We got 3 Robina, 3 Eaglin, Stree, and Token. That's going to round it off for the small birds. You could side an extra Stree if you have a deck that just really gets hurt by it, but I've seen people run 2 Stree. 1 Token's probably always the correct number. And then you have to play 3 Eaglin, 3 Robina. You have to see Robina, and then Eaglin plus map allows you to facilitate the same thing as if you drew Robina. So there's like, you have to have different combos of getting to stuff in order to play. But yeah, these are the small birds, pretty standard. At least 1 Token, at least 1 Stree. The reason why you don't want to play multiples of those is because they don't do anything by themselves. Stree has to have something in the graveyard to banish, and Token has to have a Floowandereeze card to add back in order for them to resolve and then get the extra normal summon. For the big birds, we got 2 Empen, 1 Ryza, and 2 Avian. Yeah, very standard again. You gotta play at least 2 Empen. It's gonna be the best one, of course, most scenarios. Ryza can be recycled via himself, and then Avian also recycled through himself, returns back to the hand. So, yeah, pretty standard for big birds. Plus, you know, they're all searchable for Eaglin, so you really don't have to worry about too much in this deck. Of course, Droll and Lockbird might hurt you, but we have some answers to that will show up here coming soon. Alright, for the Floowandereeze spells and traps, we got 3 map, 3 Advent of Adventure, 1 Unexplored Winds, and 1 Dreaming Town. Again, very standard. Not much has changed with this deck other than the fact that they got rid of our boy Barrier statue. So now we just play other delinquent cards. You know, you got in the side deck, you got Harpy's Feather, Storm, Storm not Duster. Some people play in the main. Those guys are really delinquent, so gotta watch out for them. I'm not one of them, but I got some other stuff like D-Shifter. Still, this deck is so nasty to play against anyways. The amount of advantage it recurs within itself, it still goes hard. You just have to play around Nibiru more often. Apex Avian, there's ways to do it there, or you just don't summon 5 cards. You know, but Barrier statue was amazing. R.I.P. Alright, we got Called by the Grave. This is for the spells that are non-engined. Although I'd argue Pot of Prosperity is probably very engined for this deck, as well as Pot of Duality, because these cards just go so well with Floowandereeze. Not only do we not really need our extra deck, so Pot of Prosperity is good in those regards. We don't special summon, so Duality is amazing. Called by the Grave, it's kind of that 40th spot. Droll and Lockbird, like I said, really hurts. So you got Called by the Grave, and you got some other cards later on that we'll talk about. But it's just a main deck out. I know it's a one-of, I know it's, you know, you gotta see it, but it's there. It can also help in other scenarios. My philosophy on the cards that are the power cards that are limited to 1 is not a crazy investment in them regardless, because it's only one-of, so you might as well play them. As long as they help your strategy. And the same can be said for Harpy's Feather Duster. You don't want to automatically lose the floodgates, like, you know, there can be only 1, stuff like that really hurts us. Summon limit, you know, who knows what's going to be on the back row. You might just hard draw it against a Labyrinth deck. That's really good. And then D-Shifter, Ash, and Imperm are going to be our main deck hand traps. D-Shifter is the card I was going to mention. I know a lot of people are not playing it in the main, and by a lot of people I mean, you know, maybe half or so. You know, it used to be everybody played D-Shifter. Now, since Cash has been around, some people choose to side it instead. I still want to main it because D-Shifter stops Droll and Lockbird, so those are 3 more ways of stopping Droll. Even if I'm playing Cash Tira, I just feel safe that I'm not going to get Drolled. You know, Cash Tira may or may not be playing Droll, but regardless, we have to do what protects us, and Droll just really hurts us, and everybody's playing, you know, so many copies these days in this format, so you have to protect what you're doing. And then with that being said, Ash and Imperm play under D-Shifter, so that's where we're playing those, plus they're, you know, just generically really good cards. So that's the philosophy behind main deck D-Shifter in this format. And then to round off the 40 card list, we have 3 Dark Ruler No More. This is definitely a going first build. We just like a generically good card that allows us to say no to them and allows us to play. This deck can already, you know, it's pretty good at playing second if, you know, being realistic. We got Avid Adventure, which is really good about getting around stuff, allowing plays to still go through. But Dark Ruler No More, we have the space, so you might as well play it. Some people like to max out even more board breakers, but I think the hand traps are just fine. Having 9 hand traps also says that their board's probably not going to be as optimal as it would be, so that also lessens the need for more board breakers. All right, on to the most irrelevant part of the deck profile, but we gotta show it anyways. We'll just start with what's mandatory, what may or may not come up. This is your crap button. This is your Nightingale Downard Zeus package. If everything just literally went wrong, by the way, that also means you didn't use your monster's effects this turn, because your monsters, when they go off, the Floowandereeze monsters, they say that you cannot special summon for the remainder of the turn. Also keep in mind that if you duality, you can't do that, so yeah, this is something happened, some cards were left on your field from the previous turn that didn't get cleared. You don't have a play, and you gotta go do something. You have 2 monsters somehow. So that's what happened here with the package. And then Recital Starling, that could be your search, or attack directly and do the same thing if they have no monsters. Otherwise, it's gonna be Nightingale. For the links, we got a link 1. We got some link 2s. We got a link 3, link 4, link 5, random if it goes to the graveyard. So yeah, the odds of you summoning any of these, it's just really low if I'm being honest. In fact, summoning these today is just as likely as doing Armory Arm, Colossal Fighter, OTK, and Edison. Maybe less likely. It's probably less likely because the Colossal Fighter, Armory Arm, OTK actually happen, you know, every once in a great while. So for our 14th and 15th card, we're playing Armory Arm and Colossal Fighter. Might as well, because, you know, that's about as likely. These are about as likely as these. So that's going to round off the deck profile for you guys. Side deck, I don't have it with me right now, unfortunately. It's just going to be probably a second Stree, Harpy's Featherstorm, Cosmic Cyclones, stuff that really helps you be able to play after anti-spell hits the field. Going first cards, D-Barrier is really good right now. You know the generic stuff. Alright guys, that's it for the Floowandereeze deck profile for August of 2023. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Peace out.